Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, June 15th. I hope everybody had a enjoyable and pleasure-filled weekend. Weather was beautiful, and I have to say that to be able to have all of our Shabbos Minyanim here inside of Shul was something that was very, very special. And as I had mentioned over Shabbos, that the last time we had a Shacharis Minyan inside the building was March 13th, and the next one that happened was on June 13th. So that's quite a bit of time that has lapsed, but again, yashikoch to everyone for making that happen and for adhering to all of the guidelines as we continue to move forward. During the week, people like it so much, we're actually davening outside, which has been also quite a machaya, a bit of a campy feeling, a little bit cool in the morning, and everybody's really taking to it, so it's very nice. But again, we look forward to continuing and hopefully expanding our numbers as the governor will allow it. So again, please continue to sign up for the Minyanim as you would like to attend. Also, that we have just rolled out the information for our annual barbecue celebration. This year we're honoring Barbara and Andy Hutter from the original families of the shul, and for all the service and wonderful things they have done for us. Well, please take this opportunity to recognize them, and also paying big thank you and gratitude to Yoni Glad for 10 years of service as he moves on to the next stage in his family's life. So again, please, we will have a celebration at some point, but for now the virtual campaign is open. This is our largest fundraiser for the shul to allow us to keep going and provide the great programming for you, etc., and be here for you when you need us. So we need you, so we ask you to please be here for us as we need you. I also want to point your attention to the fact that tomorrow evening there's a program together with Federation of Metro West panel about racism in America today, and actually I will be sitting on the panel as the representative of the Orthodox rabbinic community together with some of my colleagues from the conservative and reform community. So you'll see below in the email where you could sign up and take part in that program. Let's continue to daven for Refuah Shalema, for Mordechai ben Elka, Rabbi Frol Zev ben Rickel, Gittel Basara, Noah Alice Batlilach Esther, Rezel Basara, and all those who need our healing. Our sponsor today for today's Dvar Torah is Barbara Berger. Barbara Berger today is observing Yahrzeit for her mother, Manya Bas Shmuel, Muriel Kleinman, Zichrona Levracha. And luckily, and the way we have it set up, that Barbara was able to attend services last night and recite Kaddish together with us. And if there's any question whatsoever, women are fully welcome and encouraged to join us anytime they want to come daven. You just have to let us know. If there's any doubt about that, let there be none anymore, because certainly we had women that attended on Shabbos, which was wonderful, and we'd love to see more and more women attending services on a regular basis. So Dvar Torah today is sponsored by Barbara, Le'ili Nishmas, her mother, Manya Bas Shmuel, and I want to share with you a Mishna in the beginning, in the first chapter of Perek Avos, something which reminds me of Barbara, and I didn't know your mother, but I'm sure that much of your wonderful quality comes from her. And you'll see some of the beautiful pictures that we have attached to the email. Shimon ben Omer. So Shimon, this is Shimon, the son of Rabban Gamliel. Shimon ben Gamliel. Kol yamai gudalti ben hachachamim v'lo matzasi leguf tov ela shasika. All my days I've been raised among the sages, and I found nothing better for the body than silence. V'lo hamidrash hu iker ela hamasa. Not study, but practice is the main thing. V'chol hamarbe devarim mevichet. And the one who talks excessively brings on sin. Now, this is kind of a reiteration or a re-emphasizing of an idea that we had earlier from Shammai of emor ma'at v'aseh harbe, which is say little and do much. I'll share with you Rabbi Wine's commentary. A person is ultimately judged not by his knowledge and intellectual prowess, but by his deeds, his actions and behavior. In fact, the more knowledge one possesses, the more one is obligated to scale greater heights of action and behavior. There are many people who were A students in school, yet somehow turned out to be dismal failures in life. Similarly, there are many who are knowledgeable in Jewish studies, but practice no Judaism. The challenge of Torah is to live like a Jew, not merely to possess a scholarship to reveal what color cloak Rashi wore. Studying Talmud is a fascinating intellectual exercise, but it must be translated into moral and ethical behavior in the home, the marketplace, and the community. Otherwise, instead of being the elixir of life, the knowledge of Judaism becomes a detriment, a poison, in the words of the Talmud itself, to the owner of that knowledge. A boastful scholar once told the great Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Kutz, he said, "Rebbe, I've gone through half of the Talmud." The Kutzker Rebbe answered, "But how much of the Talmud has gone through you?" It's not only what you know that counts. What ultimately decides your worth in life is what you do with your knowledge. There are people who know, and there are people who speak, and there are people who do. Anybody who knows Barbara knows of her wonderful, fine qualities of knowing when to speak, knowing when not to speak, but also leading by action. One who very, very quietly, humbly, modestly, just simply acts on behalf of her family, on behalf of her community. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention about how much I miss, and we miss, Itzik, Zechrono Livracha. I consider it one of the great privileges in my life and in my family's life to have gotten to know Itzik Berger, Zechrono Livracha, and to see the wonderful relationship that existed between Itzik and Barbara was something very, very special. In today's world, there are a lot of people that like to point out everything that's wrong. They like to be pundits. They like to go onto Facebook and tell you everything that you're doing wrong or the whole world is wrong and how you know better. But ultimately, that's just talk. There's no action. There's nothing to back those vacuous words. So anybody can write and type and be a pundit. However, it takes a stronger person, it takes a greater person to be quiet and someone to act. We need more Barbara Bergers in the world. And Barbara, I'm sure you get this so much from your parents, especially from your mother, Muriel Manya Bas Shmuel, whose neshama should have an aliyah today on the yard site. So thank you for sponsoring these words of Torah, and may in the merit of our Torah study and the merit of your wonderful actions, your mother's neshama should have an aliyah, and we should all be doers and not just talkers. Because when we do, things get done. When we talk, the Mishna concludes, Mevichet. It brings sin into the world. It just gets us into trouble. There's a time for talking, but now, actually, in this world today, this is a time for action. This is a time for doing things. So let's get out there and let's do things. Let's do things together. Let's do things constructively. Let's act as a peaceful and doing community, one that understands the dictum of this Mishnah. What Rav Shimon Gamliel is saying is that the main thing that we have to do is action, and we can leave our speech for another time, if ever at all. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.